What's up, you guys? Today I'm here with a different type of video. I normally do not do crime because crime videos just make me sad and all of this and all of that. But today I heard a tragic story. First, I saw this story on Facebook, and it led me. It just sat heavy on my heart. It's been sitting heavy on my heart all freaking day. It's now 12:44. You guys can see on the screen record, but I read this story probably hours ago, and I said I have to make a video about this story. Like, this story is just it's so freaking sad, and it's so crazy what people will do to their own daughters and sisters and mothers and all type of stuff. Like, this world is just so crazy, you know. Like, mental health is very, very important, and it's just like their mental health had to be all the way fucked up. I am going to be reading a little bit of this story, but I am going to leave two articles down below in the description box where I got my facts from. But yeah, so I am going to be reading a little bit of story, a little bit of the article, and I'm just going to give you guys, a summary of everything, what I learned from the article and all of that, and what went down. Okay? But as you guys can see by the title, it says, Texas mom tossed dead 2-year-old daughter into lake. Then she dressed a life-size doll to look like her daughter. And they told y'all that she's sentenced to 20 years in prison. But I feel like she should have got life in prison, because this is just so tragic. Like, why would you do this to your 2-year-old daughter? Makes no absolute sense to me. If y'all wonder what she looked like, this is what she looked like. Let me not turn the sound on. An ad popped up, but this just makes no sense to me. It's just so sad and just so depressing. Just really crazy. The 911 call from a Texas mom that her 2-year-old daughter had gone missing in a park launched a massive search and rescue operation involving at least 163 people, including police and first responders. So first of all, mind you, she called a 911 operator and said that her daughter was missing. But at this point, she already killed her daughter. Like, her daughter was already dead at this point, and all of that. The mom, Christina, had recently returned to College Station after a trip to Houston to visit her boyfriend. Friends afterward reported believing they glimpsed the child with Christina in surveillance videos from a Walmart showing footage of the mother pushing what appeared to be her daughter in a stroller. If I don't pronounce these names right, I'm sorry, y'all. And if I just stumble across words, I do wear glasses and I don't have them. So, I'm sorry, y'all. But the urgent search for little Hazana, I don't know how to pronounce her name, I'm sorry, Anderson, promoted by her mother's frantic call on October 28, 2018, took a dark turn after College Station police officers discovered a life-size doll dressed in clothing identical to what her mother said her child was wearing in a trash across the street from where the daughter had parked. So the same day she had called and said, like, my daughter was missing, the police officers found a life-size doll dressed in the same clothing. Now, I'm glad that they found that doll, because if they didn't find that doll, they would have never knew what really happened. But they found that doll, and they had suspicions. Like, why would you, why is this doll wearing the same thing that your that your daughter is wearing. Why is that? That's really weird. You know, like I said, at this time, she done already, called her, you know, called the police and stuff, and she already killed her daughter. But I think like this all, cause this, I think it like the story had resurfaced the media, so basically like I believe they just found the girl, if I'm not mistaken. As investigators unraveled, the woman claimed they learned Hazana had died days earlier, and the mother and her boyfriend had dumped her body in a lake, according to Galveston County District Attorney Office. It makes no absolute sense to me what they did to her freaking body. But this paragraph just says she was sentenced to 20 years and all of that. And all of that. After finding the doll, police learned that her mother created and carried around the doll following her return from Houston, pretending it was her baby. She later confessed that her child had died at the downtown Inn hotel room where she and her boyfriend had stayed while in Houston after the baby suffered abuse from, I'm not even going to pronounce his name, Hewinton? I don't even know. But basically, the police, she confessed and said her boyfriend had basically was abused a child to death at their hotel. A probable cause affidavit say that on October 19th, 2018, Hewitt left the hotel with the child to get food. After returning 30 minutes with the toddler crying, reports, I don't know what KHOU stands for. I don't know what that means. But after returning, so the boyfriend took the child to go get food. Well, I guess they went to go get food for everybody. After returning, he would then beat the child with a belt, according to the affidavit, and told Christina to do the same. But when he claimed she wasn't hitting the child harder enough, he would resume the beating himself. Oh my goodness. This just makes no absolute sense. Christina told police she noticed her daughter slipping in and out of consciousness, to which she and he would respond by placing Juana in a bathtub, hopping to revive her. While lifting her from the tub, Christina said she noticed that the child had allegedly been sexually abused. The affidavit states. Oh my goodness. With the little girl cold to touch, the reason why she was cold because they tried to put her in the ice bath to, bring her back to life. With the little girl cold to touch, Christina told the police she and her boyfriend used a hairdryer in an effort to warm her up, but the hairdryer burnt her skin. So the little girl died that night. The mother hid the body inside of a plastic bag in the back seat of her car for 3 days before October 23rd. She and him wrapped the bag with rope and affixed a heavy rock to it. Okay, that's all I'm going to read because that just mainly tells everything. So they was unable to tell the cause of her death and everything. So here's my opinion. Here's my thoughts. If y'all want to know my opinion, my thoughts, and stuff like that. Um, they both was sentenced to 20 years before I say my opinion and my thoughts. They said they was unable to determine the cause what led to the homicide charges. And they have a $10,000 fine. And, yeah. So that's, so, the girl, first of all, let's just say this girl was 2 years old. She was 2. So as I just read to y'all, the boyfriend took her to go get food, and first of all, he took the child with him, which I don't know why. I don't know why he took the child with him to go get food. And I guess the mother stayed at the hotel room. And I guess, like, the child, 2-year-olds are terrible. At 2 years old, they like to get into stuff. Well, they're not terrible because they're kids. But, they like to get into stuff, touch stuff. Maybe the child was doing that. And I guess, the child was crying. Maybe the child was crying. I don't know. The child was crying. I can't even say that she was, getting into stuff because she was 2. Because it said in this report that the child was crying. Maybe, did you not think the child maybe wanted his mother? Did you not think that? So, and even though it don't even matter if the child got into stuff, it don't matter if the child was crying. That does not give you the authority to take a child's life. It does not give you the authority to do that. That is very, very low. And on top of that, what really, really just irks my nerves is that you sat there and you let this man beat on your child right in front of your face. I don't care if I had to die. Like, you cannot beat on my child in front of my face. Like, I swear, like, I will go to war. And it's so crazy I'm seeing all this and I don't have a child. But I don't care. I don't care. That is just so freaking, like, I don't know what is wrong. Like, I don't know what is wrong. Like, that mother is mentally fucked up in the head. So he beat on her, and then he was like, you beat on her too. She's 2. Her body is so small. And then they dumbasses okay. After the mother was beating on her too, he was like, you're not beating on her hard enough. And she just stood there and let him kill her baby and beat on her baby. Like, what are you talking about? You not beating on her hard enough. She's 2. 2-year-olds shouldn't even get beat with a belt. And to kill her, you had to be beating on her hard. You had to knock her unconscious. You had to be beating on her hard. You just had to. And then they took her and put her in a freaking cold bath with they dumbasses. And then they also, which I don't even know why they dumbasses did this, but they tried to blow dry her body. It ended up burning her body. Like, and at that point, she was already dead. Then her mama came up with this brilliant idea. I'm being sarcastic. Like, her mama came with this brilliant idea. It was like, oh, let me lie and say, my baby was kidnapped, and I'm gonna get this life-size doll and put her on my baby and put her on the baby clothes. And yeah. And her ass got caught. And I'm glad she did get caught. I'm glad she made up this brilliant ass idea. But she sent like a whole team out looking for her baby when she knowing damn well she killed her baby and her baby was at the bottom of that damn river. And that's what irritated me. Like, why would you put her at the bottom of the river? Why would you put her at the... Why would you do that? A 2-year-old? That just, I don't know how y'all feel about that, but a 2-year-old, you gonna put her at the bottom of a fucking river? Like, no. And then she had the baby in the back of her car for 3 days. The whole story is just fucked up. Like, and then they only gave him 20 years in prison. No, nigga, you need fucking life in prison. Life. Don't ever come out. Because you killed your baby. Like, something is mentally wrong with you in your fucking head. And even if you didn't kill your baby, even if he killed your baby, because that's what it said in the police report, like, he finished beating her. You sat there and let him beat on her. I just can't get this past my head. And then on top of that, like, while the baby was going, like, to go get food, the mom said, like, she think that the baby was sexually abused or whatever. And you let him beat her too and kill her? He sexually abused her. First of all, if you think that your baby was sexually abused, why wouldn't you take your baby in a better environment? And I don't even think this was his baby, because it's just like, wasn't, in a police report, like, they would have said beat their child and stuff like that. But why wouldn't you take your baby in a safe environment? Like, you just don't really give a fuck about her as a mother. Like, you just didn't want, like, did you not want her? You should have gave her away to somebody who want her. And I just don't understand, like, did people live around them? Like, did anybody live around them? Where it's just so much stuff that's going through my head right now, because this is a little girl's life that was lost. And the mother just only get 20 years in prison? She needs life. And I think she's just not being sentenced for this crime that happened 2 years ago. But she needs life in prison. Life. With no parole. They need to lock both of their asses up. Because it ain't no way you can walk the streets thinking that it's okay to kill little girls. And it's okay to have second chances. Like, no, it's not no second chance when you certain shit you cannot do. Certain shit should not be allowed. Like, crime rise. Like, it should not be allowed. Like, this is some shit that you need life to. That's all I have to say. I think I covered everything that I wanted to talk about. This story is just so freaking sad. And I'm just glad that the little girl did get justice. Like, she did. Her killers are locked up, but they need more time. I wish, like, I could do something, start a petition or something to get them, so they can get more time, because they need more time. They need to be in prison for the rest of their fucking life. This is so fucking sad and so fucking pathetic on both ends. The mama's end and the boyfriend end. There is no fucking way that they only should have 20 years in prison. This is a little girl. Like, she was only 2 years. She only been on this earth for 2 years, and you beat her to death because she was crying? That means the boyfriend is fucked up mentally in the head, because what if that was a newborn? What the fuck was you gonna do then? Like, I don't even want to think about that shit, but, like, come on now. Like, they need life in prison. That's all I'm gonna say. And let me know your thoughts down below Do y'all think that 20 years is enough, or they need life in prison? And yeah, just let me know y'all thoughts down below, and thank you for watching.